that you were in all of your yesterdays, and just focus on who you are from this moment moving forward, and everything that you need to do, moving forward. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters, is what you do from this moment moving forward. D, what's up, D? Take on a new mind. Stop looking at yourself with yesterday's eyes. It's the worst thing you will ever do. It's the worst mistake you will ever make. You got to have a short-term memory when it comes to you. Short-term memory when it comes to you. You get over things quick and it's on to the next thing. We don't have time to keep carrying over yesterday's problems and mistakes, all of the failures, the setbacks, the letdown, how you lost yesterday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't add value to you. It doesn't add value to you. Let go of everything that's not adding value to your life right now. Callie Jane, what's up, Callie Jane? So good to see you. Nitro's in the building. What's up, Nitro? Rather say putting my seatbelt on. That part right there, and that's crazy, Cat Lover, that you say that, because that's literally what they teach high-profile quarterbacks. You got to have a short-term memory. If not, we're going to lose the Super Bowl. If you keep thinking about what went wrong in the last play and what you did wrong last quarter, we're going to lose. You know what I mean? That's literally what they teach high-profile, the Tom Brady's of the world and the Peyton Mannings of the world and the, quarterbacks like that, the Patrick Mahomes of the world. They teach them, and you got to have a short-term memory. But that translates over to life, man. That's the problem. We're always looking at ourselves through our last mistake and that last failed relationship and all of these things, and it doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't add value to you. It only takes value away from you. And when you develop that mindset and you stop punishing yourself for everything that you're not, or for yesterday's mistakes, everything changes in that moment. Everything changes. This moment is the only one that matters. The previous moment no longer matters. Whatever happened in the previous moment, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. Just thinking about it is already, we're already wasting time. Just the fact that you're thinking about it. Hey, what's up, Danny? So good to see you. Lavish, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Martin. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Melissa, so good to see you guys. Be where your feet are. That's what's important. Be where your feet are. Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Be where your feet are. The number one indicator that you are in the wrong environment is if you can't be there mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. If you can't stay rooted in that moment, you're in the wrong place. Be where your feet are. Heaven sent. What's going on, Mama? So good to see you. All right, let's get busy. Yeah, that's the number one indicator. A lot of people don't know that. That's the number one indicator. I'd rather you move to an environment where you can be there mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, because that's really where you want to be, versus being somewhere where mentally, spiritually, and emotionally you're not there. Physically, yes, you are there, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally you're not. Tara, do me a favor and delete and block all of these people with all of the little extra stuff going on, just so we can keep the live positive. Yeah, just permanent blocks. We throwing block parties tonight. Okay. So tonight I want to really, tonight's live stream is really about, let me say this, and I want because this is an opportunity. See, I didn't catch that, and that's my mistake. That's my mistake. When you become self-aware, right, you find the opportunity in everything. Right, you find the opportunity in everything, and that person or people that said whatever it was they were saying, right? That was negative. That was a golden opportunity, and I missed that. That was a golden opportunity, and I missed that. That's my mistake. Let me tell you what I mean by that. You have to embrace the negativity in your life just as much as you embrace the positivity. And I can make the argument that you should place more focus and emphasis on the negativity that's happening in your life than the positivity. Why? Because it's the negativity, the negative comments like that. The people that don't see you in the way that you want to be seen. The people that are projecting their unhealed versions of themselves onto you. The people that criticize you. The people that don't like you. The people that disrespect you. All of those things. You have to embrace the negativity just as much as you do the positivity. And you should always be neutral. Self-awareness is going to teach you how to be neutral. Because if someone has the ability to walk up and say something to you and get you to come out of character, get you to react, they're in control of you in that moment. You're not. Because you become what you react to. Now, if you notice, I didn't react, but I didn't take advantage of the teachable moment that was offered to me. You have to understand that the universe is going to be testing you. I get tested all the time. And the reason why I get tested all the time is because God has entrusted me with so many beautiful souls to teach and lead. And I can't do that if I'm, battling with people in the comments and I'm reacting to people and I'm giving people all of this energy that I shouldn't be giving them. But I still can take advantage of the opportunity to show you guys how emotionally bulletproofed I am. That's what's important. Because if you're not emotionally bulletproof, that means that you're always going to be a slave to people, places, and things. And in that moment, when you react to that negative comment, you become disconnected from God in that moment. You become disconnected from your divine essence. You become disconnected from higher mind, and you go into lower mind, and now you're reacting. That's ego personality. Lower mind is all ego personality. So now you lose it. Okay, and that's just so important for you guys to understand. Again, you don't owe that person your energy. Like I said again, whatever their opinion is belongs to them. It doesn't belong to me. They're already, catch this. The person is already suffering because the only thing that can come out of you is what's in you. You can only give me what you are in possession of. So if you're giving me anger, that means you're already in possession of it. And if I react to it, that means I become that. The self-aware person sees that coming a mile away. You see that coming a mile away. So how will you ever become the most powerful version of yourself if you're looking at this person and they're giving you negative energy? And in that moment, you wouldn't get off on the off ramp. If there was an off ramp that said road closed, you driving down the freeway, you ready to get off the freeway, and there's a clear sign that says road closed, construction up ahead. You gonna mean to tell me you would still get off on that off ramp? That's what you're telling me? You'd be like, no, I'm just gonna get off here because I want to get off. I'm gonna drive around the barricades and everything like that. You're just gonna get off the freeway? The people are no different. When people are giving you that negative energy in that moment, that's their definition of road closed here. I'm suffering here. I've got something going on internally here. And if you react to that situation, it's the equivalent of you getting off on that freeway where the sign clearly showed you road closed up ahead. So whatever happens after that is on you. That's what I'm saying. I jump in and out of different people's lives and I see them wasting so much energy battling with the people in the comment section that they never get the message out to the people that were there to hear the message. Nobody wants to sit and listen to you fight with people in the comments all day. Focus on what you're doing. And if people have the ability to get you to come out of character in that moment because they're starving for attention, you're the one that lacks self-awareness, not them. right? You got to be neutral. But watch this. You have to be neutral when it comes to the positive comments as well. You don't lean into the positive comments. You don't lean into the negative comments. Let me tell you why. Because when you lean into the positive comments, that doesn't mean you don't say thank you. That doesn't mean you don't appreciate that. That doesn't mean you don't smile and whatever the case may be. But you don't give energy to that. Because when you give energy to that, you're also laying the groundwork for when someone else walks up and tells you that they don't like your outfit and they don't like the way you look and they don't like the way your hair is styled and all of that. You are laying the groundwork for your own suffering. Okay, you're supposed to be like the rose in life. When you walk up and tell that rose, you're the most beautiful rose in the world, that the compliment belongs to you, not to the rose. The rose is going to always be neutral, right? So in that moment, you're the rose. Some people are going to love the way you look. Some people won't. Some people are going to love your fragrance. Some people won't. Some people are going to love your complexion. Some people won't. Oh, well, all of that belongs to them. It doesn't belong to you. I'm going to say thank you with the same level of energy when you compliment me as you do when you criticize me, because now I control the moment. You don't control the moment. I take all of the power back. Why? Because I'm whole and complete. I'm not looking for you to validate me. I don't need you to believe in me. I don't need you to support me. That doesn't come from you. It all comes from me. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate when you do it. But what I'm saying is that if I don't give those things to myself, and I'm going out seeking external validation, and I'm going out looking for people to believe in me, looking for people to support me, looking for people to love me, and all of those, I'm in trouble. I'm all the way in trouble. The moment that I step outside of myself looking for anything, I'm in trouble. Because now I've placed a psychological contract on you to give me something that really I only have the power to give myself. You don't have the power to give me belief. Belief comes from me. It doesn't come from you. You can support me, but the belief has to come from me. So let's just take that as an opportunity, right? Let's take that as an opportunity. Let's take it as an opportunity. Turn everything. See, when you become self-aware, you turn every negative into a positive, because everything is working out for your good. The negative things and the positive things, it's all working out for your good, because in that moment, you're being tested with respect to your level of emotional intelligence. You lack emotional intelligence if you start reacting to people. You're not emotionally intelligent at all. You lack self-awareness and emotional intelligence when you start reacting to the things that are happening outside of you. What that person is a reflection of something that you haven't worked on within yourself. What that person reflects in that moment is something that you've been avoiding, right? And so in that moment, God, the universe, whatever label you want to put on it, just test me. Let me see if my son is really self-aware. Let me see if he's going to react. Let me see if he'll come unglued. Let me just send somebody his way. Pass the test, flying colors, every time. All right, let's get busy. None of that is about the lie, but let's get busy. Lesson or a blessing, always. That part right there, Tara. You can leave a toxic relationship all day. You can leave the toxic relationship. But if you don't heal what attracted you to them in the first place, you're going to keep meeting that person all over again. Same demon, different body. You can leave the toxic relationship, but if you don't heal what attracted you to that person to begin with, you're going to meet that person all over again. Same demon, different body. This is awareness. And watch this. Don't just move on from the people who hurt you. See, that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest mistake we make. Don't just move on from the person who hurt you. Move on from the version of you that made them think that it was okay to disrespect you in the first place. That's who we need to talk to. Pull that version of you to the front of the classroom, please. Move on from the version of you that tolerated the disrespect. Move on from the version of you that walked on eggshells. Move on from the version of you that accepted less than you deserve. Move on from that version of you. Then you don't have to worry about the person. The person was attracted to the weakest version of you, not to the strongest version of you, because that's where you're vibrating from. That's where you're attracting people into your life from. Not the version of you that you pretend to be on social media, not the version of you that you are when you're around your friends, that version of you when you're not loving yourself, that version of you when you're not showing up for you, that version of you when you talk about you're lonely and I just need someone to come and be with me. That version of you is where you're attracting from. So you sitting here talking about, oh, coach, I need to get rid of this person. No, you don't need to get rid of the person. You need to get rid of the version of you that attracted that person to your life to begin with. The version of you that accepts less than you should. The version of you that sometimes doesn't love you. The version of you that doesn't show up for you. The version of you that has the power to stop believing in you. How do you stop believing in you? That's what we need to talk about. Because see, the only way that a person would accept less than they deserve is if you're not believing in you. And if you're not believing in you, that means that you're also not loving you. So I don't want to talk about the person. Damn the person. I want to talk about the version of you that made them think that it was cool to disrespect you to begin with. I need to talk to her. Pull her all the way to the front of the camera, please. Let me talk to him. Because the person can't give you anything that you don't accept. I could be the most toxic person on the planet. I can't make you accept that. The relationship becomes toxic. Situations become toxic based upon what you accept. But see, we don't want to take that accountability. We don't want to hear that. We don't like to hear that. I could bake the most delicious chocolate cake on the planet. I can't make you take a bite. I could take you to the most beautiful beach on earth. I can't make you swim in it. I could make the most delicious steak in the world. I can't make you take a single bite. I can't make you do anything. But the moment you accept that, that's when everything begins. Not with what someone is offering you, with what you accept, with what you tolerate, with what you put up with. That's what makes the relationship toxic. See, I deal in universal truth. I don't know how to give it any other way. I'm not a baker, so I'm not going to sugarcoat things. These are the type of conversations that people need to have with respect to relationships, because we're always calling someone else toxic. Coach, he's toxic. She's toxic. No, the person that accepts less than they should, the person that saw the red flags, the person that ignored that, the person that was seeking someone, talking about, oh, the reality of who they are, they're not really giving me what I want, need, and desire, but they have so much potential, coach. Potential lives in you. It doesn't live in the other person. So we're going to stop that. Potential comes from you. Special comes from you. See, people don't realize that. When you call someone special, that's something that you've created in your mind. Special lives in your mind. Because special, when you call on someone special, what you're doing is you're looking at that person's actions. You're looking at their behavior. You're looking at the talent that they have. You're looking at all of these skills that they have. But you're applying what you would be doing in that situation. And then you project that onto them. But you got to understand that your programming and conditioning is not their programming and conditioning. So how you see that person, they may not see themselves. So special lives in your mind. Not in the mind of that person. That person may not see themselves like that at all. The same way with potential. When you're looking at someone and you're saying that they have all of this potential, really in that moment, what you're seeing is what you would be doing if you were them, how you would act if you were them, the courses that you would take and the moves that you would make and all of those things if you were them. And you project that onto them thinking that you're seeing their potential, but really what you're seeing is your own being reflected back to you, because you're utilizing them as the object or the mechanism to say, this is what I would do if I were you. And I would do this, and I would make this play, and I would go back to school, and I would all of these things. But the person doesn't see themselves that way. That's why most people never live up to the potential that you see in them. So one more time, don't just move on from the person. Move on from the version of yourself that made them think that the disrespect was okay in the first place. Because if you don't heal that version of you, you're going to end up in the same relationship again, different demon, same demon, different body. Let me say this to you. We getting ready. Please put your seatbelt on, because what I'm saying is getting ready to bump up against your programming and conditioning. I'm gonna give you time right now. Please put your seatbelt on right now. Put 2 of them on. Put 2 whole seatbelts on right now. Because what I'm getting ready to say gonna bump up against everything you believe to be true, but you ain't gonna. But your spirit is gonna. Your spirit is gonna be jumping up and down, because I'm speaking to your spirit right now, not to your programming and conditioning. I'm speaking to your spirit, not to your programming and conditioning. So listen with your ears and not with your emotions right now. If another woman is able to get close to your man, she is not the problem. Let me say that one more time. If another woman is able to get close to your man, she is not the problem. He is. Put the focus where it needs to be. This is awareness. The fact that another woman even feels comfortable. See right there. I damn near jumped out my seat. The fact that another woman even feels comfortable approaching him about anything means that he made her feel welcomed in that moment. That's where the drama started, right there. We ain't even got to go no further than that. I don't even want to know her name. I don't want to know what she looked like, none of that. You ready to fight the woman. If another woman can get close to your man, she is not the problem. The fact that another woman even feels welcomed, the fact that another woman even feels welcomed is disrespectful to your whole situation. And it reflects his behavior behind your back. That's what it reflects. We don't even need to talk about her. It reflects who he becomes when you're not around. That's the only thing it's reflecting. We don't need to talk about anything else. Leave her out of it, because you're reframing the conversation. Now you got to keep the heat where the heat is. Because if he's letting someone get close enough, because if he's letting someone else get that close, it's a clear sign that he's not respecting the relationship. And this goes both ways, man. I'm not just saying about just women, and just not just, it's both ways. Just twist the situation around. Let me say that one more time. If he's letting someone get that close, it's a clear sign that he doesn't respect the relationship. If someone was even able to get that close, if someone even felt that welcome, mean that he was inviting all of that, she was inviting all of that. That's where the problem is. The problem is not her. The problem is not him. The problem is the person that made that individual feel welcomed in that moment. To even deliver, I got to make you feel welcome in order for you to deliver whatever it is you're trying to deliver. Do not waste your energy confronting the other person. That's wasted energy. That's weak energy. If you confront that other person, you look weak because they are not the problem. In fact, you need to be taking the other person to lunch. That's what you need to be doing. You need to take them, go get them a Coach bag, a Chanel bag, a Gucci bag, because they just saved you 5 years of 10 years of trauma. Because what they revealed to you is that you've been sleeping with the enemy this entire time. You need to go take that person out to lunch, high five them, or get them some coffee from Starbucks, whatever the case may be, because they just saved they just saved you for the next 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. Why? Because this person was moving in a certain way behind your back that you may have never figured out. See, we look at it through the wrong filter. You ready to fight the person? No, you need to be celebrating that person, because what do you think that she finna get, or he's getting ready to get? If that person acts like that with you, it's because there's a version of them that doesn't know how to be loyal to anything. And so if they weren't loyal to you, they won't be loyal. So that's all that person is doing. It's taking something off your hands that you didn't need anymore anyway. Don't fight the person. No, leave them alone. Don't get them something nice and say, thank you. All of that belongs to you now. Thank you. And guess what? I'm going to lick my wounds. I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to go pray to God. I'm going to go sit somewhere by myself. I might go have to get me a coach or a mentor, whatever the case may be, but I will heal. Thank you for letting me out of that prison that I didn't know I was in. Thank you. Now, all yours. That's your problem now. I take off skipping down the street. Don't confront the person. The person just saved you. But see, we don't look at it that way, because when you're walking around living out of your ego personality and your pride and lower mind and all of that, you're just ready to react. You want to attack the person. The person is not the problem. The third person is never the problem. The problem is the person that made the third person feel welcome to begin with. That's the problem. Put the focus where it needs to be. Come on, we talking about self-awareness and self-mastery here. We ain't talking about the lower mind. We talking about the hood stuff. We're talking about high level, highly intelligent, spiritual intelligence here. This is self-mastery here. I don't want to focus on the third person. The third person helped me to figure out what my problem really is. And what's crazy is 9 times out of 10, you felt that. Energetically, you felt something was off, but you didn't have no evidence. But your intuition was going off like a 5-alarm fire. And then that situation happened. It was only confirmation. Man, stand on that. But yeah, that hurt your pride. Yeah, it hurt your ego. Yeah, it hurt your persona and your little image and all of those, but it saved you. The person just saved you from a burning relationship that you didn't even know you were in. You owe that person. You owe that person. I told you to put your seatbelt on. Let me say this. This might hurt your programming and conditioning, but your spirit knows it's the truth. If he truly valued you, no one else would feel that comfortable trying to get close to him. If he truly valued you. If your man or your woman truly values you, no one else would ever feel that comfortable even getting close to them. I said never. See, when you have a powerful relationship with someone that you genuinely love, you damn near feel disrespected when a person walks up and tries to break that union that you have with that person. You damn near feel disrespected when you are in a real relationship and you genuinely love your partner. When you 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you entertain in everything. That's the problem. Not only that, when you are genuinely in love with your partner, when you are genuinely committed, you radiate an energy that people around you pick up and they know, nah, she ain't that one. Something about her aura, her essence. She don't look, she got an energy about her that looks like that's saying, don't talk to me. I'm not that one. or that man is walking around, he's carrying an energy. Yeah, he may be handsome. Yeah, he may be 6 feet. Yeah, he may have the muscles and the tattoos, but he's radiating an energy that's letting the world know, I'm off the market. He don't even have to say it. There's an energy you carry when you are genuinely in your relationship, 10 toes down. I don't give a damn about no wedding ring. When you are emotionally married to your partner, it's 10,000 times more powerful than a wedding ring. You know how many people cheat with the wedding ring on? You want to be emotionally married to your partner. I said emotionally married. Damn all of that ceremony and damn that $1 million weddings. That don't make a person stay loyal to you. Person don't give a damn about that. You know how many people I know take that ring off and go cheat? You didn't spend $100,000 on the ring. The ring's sitting on the nightstand. So what is that for? You want to be emotionally married to your partner. That means that I can set my partner in any situation. It doesn't matter who's there. I can walk away, leave him in a room full of beautiful women. I can walk away and leave her in a room full of handsome men. I ain't got nothing to worry about. And I ain't looking back. Because I know what I have. We put all of this energy into these weddings and rings and all of these things that don't mean nothing. Because you're dating that person's programming and conditioning. You're not dating the ring. You're not dating the cake. You're not dating the dress that you spent all that money on. You're not dating the ceremony in the hall, the way you guys got married. You're not dating that. You're not dating their level of education. You're dating their programming and conditioning. What are you laying up with every single night? That's what's important. That's what you're with, is their programming and conditioning. And if they've been programmed and conditioned to not be loyal, I don't give a damn how many cakes you buy. I don't give a damn how many wedding magazines y'all study together. If that person's not loyal, they're not loyal. Ain't got nothing to do with the ceremonies and all of that. We put the energy into the wrong things. Couples should have to take a self-awareness course before you go and get married. That's the insurance policy, because if that person is not self-aware, that means that they are loyal to their desires. That means that they're loyal to their needs. That means that they're loyal to their wants. And that means that they transform into a different version of themselves when they're not around you. You don't know that? I'm telling you. Let me see. Let me see how many self-aware people are on this live tonight. What do you think is the biggest threat to your relationship? Let me see where the awareness is. What do you think is the biggest threat to your relationship? Daddy says hurt. Communication, ego. Ooh, you said something right there. No growth. Ooh, Sophie, you said something there. Somebody said trust. Overthinking. Ooh, you said something. Indecision and procrastination. Honesty. That's a big one. My attitude. That's a big one. Me. Fear. I like that. Not knowing what you have. Ooh, that was a bar right there. Lack of self-love. That's a bar right there. Insecurities. Yep. If I didn't know what I know, I could definitely borrow a lot of what you guys said, for sure. This is another seatbelt moment. This is another seatbelt moment. Somebody said loyalty. Yeah, this is another seatbelt moment. Please please strap it up. I'm gonna freestyle this piece. I know it so well, I don't even have to. Let me freestyle this piece. Both you and your partner, this is as real as I'm gonna give it to you. Both you and your partner are the guardians at the gate of your relationship. Okay? You guard one side of that gate, he guards the other. Both parties are the guardian at the gate of that relationship. Anything that gets past that gate becomes a permanent part of the relationship. It's never on the person that got past the gate. It's always on the person that opened the door. You secure one side of that gate, he secures the other. Somebody opened the gate. Damn, who walked through it? Someone opened the gate. Don't take your focus off of where it should be. It doesn't matter who the person is that walked through. That's irrelevant. What matters is who opened the damn door. That's the only thing that matters. Who opened the damn door? That's who I want to talk to. Because it is humanly impossible for someone outside of that gate to enter the gate without someone opening the door. Somebody open the door. Same way when you were a little kid, your mom told you, look, stay in the house, close that door, don't open that door, don't let nobody in my house. Anybody that gets inside of that house is on the person that opened the door. Same thing applies to your relationship. Someone opened the door. But see, we've been programmed and conditioned to focus on the third person. We'll give our partner all the chances in the world. But we focus on that third person. The person is not the problem. The problem is the fact that there's a version of your partner that's not loyal to the situation that you're in. And that version of the, see, people ask me this all the time. Coach, do people change? Do they? Let me ask you, do people change? Let me see it in the comments. Do people change? Somebody said no. Trina said no. No, I got some no's. No, 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 yes. Miss Harder said no, nope, no. I mean, somebody said when it's beneficial to them. That was a bar. This is an important question. This is an important question. Do they change? Come on, nephew. Here's the answer. People don't change. For as hard as that may be for you to hear, people don't change. They evolve, which means that the version of them that did whatever it is they did still lives in them. So when you are considering taking someone back, understand that the version of them that they became in that moment when they did whatever it is they did still lives within them. What happens when the right person comes along in the future and triggers that version of them again? What happens then? We didn't take care of the problem. All of the I'm sorry's and the baby I'll never do it again and all of this other stuff like that didn't take care of the problem. It put a Band-Aid on the problem. It pacified you for a moment, but it didn't take care of the problem. The problem still exists. I'm sorry means nothing if the behavior hasn't changed. If the behavior has changed, then I'm sorry is not needed. When a person genuinely loves you, they're going to change the behavior that made them have to say, I'm sorry to begin with. Then there's no reason. I don't need you. Show me I'm sorry by changing the behavior. Don't give me the words. Because if you give me the words, but the behavior hasn't changed, then your I'm sorry means nothing. Doesn't mean anything. So you tell a person freeze, don't apologize. Change the behavior, and I'm watching you. If you love me enough Change the behavior. Keep the apology, because the same energy that it takes you to apologize to me is the same energy that it takes you to change the behavior, because the behavior changes in your mind. So you ain't got to go nowhere. You just need to make a decision. And that decision is either you love me enough to change that behavior or you don't. I'll watch for that. Keep the apology though, because it don't mean nothing to me yet until I see the behavior change. So when I say to you that people don't change, let me qualify that just in case you're struggling with that. %90 of the people on this live right now, 90%, probably struggle with some type of anger issue, temper, like you got a temper underneath there. You might be cool. You may be a professional. You may be all of those things. And maybe you've been going to church, and maybe you've been studying self-awareness, and maybe you've been doing all of these things, right? You become a mother, or you become a father, or you become whatever the case may be, right? But that version of you that will go off on somebody for playing with you, let the right circumstances happen and tell me that version of you won't emerge again. Let somebody play with your kids and watch that version of you pop out. You've evolved, but you haven't changed. Freeze that thought. The alcoholic. Why do you think they tell you not to take the alcoholic to the bar? But the alcoholic changed. That's what you're telling me. The alcoholic changed. So if that person changed, why can't I take that person to the bar with me? Because that person may get triggered because they haven't changed. Because the right circumstances will get that version of them to pop out again. They evolved, meaning that they went through some program that gave them the steps to how to deal with that. But they did not change. They only evolved. Every single version of you that you have ever been throughout the course of your life, even through childhood, you still are. Those versions of you still live within you right now. They're all locked in a memory trace. And that's why you can go out and look in the world and there'll be certain things that'll remind you of your childhood and make you feel good and all of those things. Why? Because all of those versions still live in you right now. People don't change. They evolve. Big difference. So when a person cheats on you, and the only way that a person can change is if they have become self-aware, because that means that the self-aware version of them realizes the damage that they're getting ready to cause you, and they'll back away from the situation because they understand the pain that they're getting ready to bring to the moment. The person that lacks self-awareness is only thinking about themselves in that moment. They're only thinking about their desires in that moment. They're only thinking about how the situation is going to benefit them. They'll think about you after they get caught. Truth is at the door. What y'all want to do? We going to open the door for the truth, or we going to sit here and act like we don't? Hey, what's up? What's going on? So good to see you. Y'all said open the door. Open the door. Come to get the door. Get the door. Get the door open. Yeah. So even when that person, again, so if you're considering, and I'm not saying don't do it. If you're considering taking a person back that has done that to you and they have not become, if the person has become self-aware, I promise you, grab that person. And here's the thing. Don't grab the person because, see, if the person is like, oh, I'll start studying self-awareness, I'll change, I'll do it. They're not doing it for the right reasons. You have to understand that self-awareness is not something that you go find. Self-awareness is something that finds you. So if that person is studying self-awareness with you just so they can win you back over or because they're trying to, it's not going to work that way. Self-awareness is not something that you can just pick up and start studying and all of a sudden you just become transformed. Don't get manipulated like that. It does not work that way. That's the same way that same way as this. When two couples go to therapy, watch this. Come on. Damn, truth. When two couples go to therapy, one of them don't want to be there. When two couples go to therapy, one of those parties, one person there does not want to be there. That's a diamond hard fact. You will never see a situation where two people are going to therapy and they both want to be there. Someone doesn't want to be there. Someone is pretending in that moment. Someone is really 1 foot in the relationship and 1 foot out of the relationship. And let me tell you why. Let me qualify that. Let me qualify that just in case you're struggling right now. Let me tell you something about love. Love will make you go fight a lion for your partner. Love will make you jump in an ocean. Your partner then fell in the water. Somehow, some way fell in the water. It's sharks in there and everything. Love will send you in that ocean to go pull your partner out. Will send you out in the forest. You fighting bears and everything. Love does that. So anytime when there is genuine love in the relationship, you don't need to talk to anyone. You don't need someone to counsel you. You don't need the preacher. You don't need the pastor. You don't need the therapist. Why? Because love will make you say, baby, what am I doing wrong? What do you need me to change? What do you need me to be for you? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? And you will do it. You don't need to talk to nobody. You don't need to do any of that. The fact that you guys are going to the counselor is because someone is not willing to do what they need to do. Someone doesn't really want to participate in the growth. Someone is 1 foot out, 1 foot in. I'm telling you. When there's genuine love there, we don't need to talk to nobody. Because whatever it is I'm doing in that moment that's bothering you, I'm going to fix it because I love you. Whatever it is about my behavior that I'm not doing, I'm going to do it. Hard stop. I don't need to have somebody coach me back up. I don't need to have somebody teach me how to validate you again and teach me how to appreciate you again and give me all of these tools and methods on how to be there and support you. All that's BS, man. If somebody's got to teach you how to appreciate your partner again, the relationship is in trouble. Somebody's pretending in the relationship. That part right there. That part right there, Lisa, that part right there. What am I doing that's rubbing you the wrong way? And you're going to stop it. And when you stop it, you're going to stop it with all the love in your heart. You're not going to stop it with resentment. You're not going to feel like it's work. You're going to stop it with all of the love in your heart because you see that you hurt your baby. Come on now. You're going to stop it. Hard stop. Right then and there. And it's over. I tell people this all the time. Love whispers. When I'm talking to my beloved, love whispers. She ain't got to tell me all loud. Love whispers. It's a whisper. And you hear that. Her whisper is as loud as a marching band when love is real. All she had to do is whisper. We talk about this all the time. Asking twice is begging. Because that person heard you when you said it the first time. So anytime that you have to start asking your partner things 2 and 3 times, it's because they no longer value the sound of your voice. We don't want to accept that. Asking twice is begging. Anytime that you got to ask your partner 2 and 3 times, your voice has lost its power in the mind of that person. I'm telling you, when you got real love going on in your relationship, everything is a whisper. You have to say 2 and 3 times. None of that. Somebody said something about the narcissist. What'd they say? I would say something to that. I would say something to that, but I don't think you guys are ready to hear that truth. You guys ready? God bless Latoya. She's saying, well, can you put that back up there for me again? Somebody, please. But see, the problem with when we say that, what people don't understand is that before you become self-aware, everyone has a version of that in them. Everyone has some narcissistic behavior or patterns or tendencies before you become self-aware. Everyone does. Why? Because you have an ego. And the ego wants things your way. The ego wants to control things. The ego wants power. The ego wants, the world to move, spin, turn, and revolve around you. The ego is projecting, things onto people and all of these other things like that. You're placing psychological contracts on people. Everybody does that. There's not a person on this live right now that can't tell me that you've never placed expectations on someone else and then been upset and been pissed off when that person didn't deliver and live up to your expectations. We all do that. And it's not until you become self-aware that you realize and understand that everyone has some version of that. But the problem is that if you're still living out of your ego personality, we just like to point at other people. He's a narcissist. She's a narcissist. We're all born with that. We all want power. We all want control. We all have an ego. We all want the world to go our way. We all want things to go our way. People to love us a certain way, people to believe in us a certain way, all of these other things. We place psychological contracts on people, all of that. But we don't like to blame ourselves when it comes to that. We don't want to point the finger at us. We'll just point other people for demonstrating those behaviors, never realizing that you do that too. Until you become self-aware. See, that's the beautiful thing about the self-aware person, is that the self-aware person is just going to be honest about it. That was me. I wanted things to move a certain way. I wanted people to act a certain way. I wanted power. I wanted control. I wanted all of these things, right? Because I'm living out of my ego personality. That's what the ego does. It never wants to be seen in a negative light. It never wants to take accountability. It always wants to be accepted everywhere, have power, have this, have that. We've all done that. It's humanly impossible. You can't say you're a human being and you've never placed a psychological contract on somebody. That's just you expecting somebody to do certain things, right? We don't see. That's the whole narcissistic tendency right there. Watch this. You don't see that? You've never been in a relationship with someone and demanded that loyalty? Yes or no? Have you ever been in a relationship and demanded that loyalty from someone else? It's a simple yes or no. Come on, let's be honest here. We ain't got a cap on this platform. You have been in a relationship with someone and where you guys understood, where you expected that person to be loyal to you, which means bypass all of the other opportunities that you could have. Because I want you to give me everything. Give me your time. Give me your energy. Give me your attention. Don't give it to anyone else. Even though you may meet someone that's infinitely better than me for you, you got to pass that person by and come back and be loyal to me. Come on, man. But we want to blame everybody else for being narcissists. See, that's the thing about it. We want to control people. That's what you're doing. When you're telling that person, be loyal to me, that's a form of control. What if that person meets somebody that's genuinely better than you? What do you want them to do? Bypass that opportunity and stay with you. Because you said you're going to be committed to me. You said you're going to be loyal to me, but that's not unconditional love. That's conditional love. Your love is based on conditions. But we're not going to live in that truth, huh? Unconditional love means that even if you find someone for you that's better than me, I love you so much, I want to see you go and be happy because that person can do more for you than I can. Unconditional love means that I want to see you be happy, even if that happiness doesn't include me, because I genuinely love you. Unconditional love means that if you wake up Saturday morning and you decide that you want to go live your life, you want to go experience something different, I thank you for everything you gave me. I thank you for the moments you share with me. I thank you for everything that you have been in my life. I thank you for the version of myself that I got to become in your presence. And I love you, and I have no resentment towards you when you leave. That's unconditional love. The majority of the people don't carry love like that. Your love is based on conditions. As long as that person is staying with you, you love them. As long as they treat you a certain way, you love them. As long as they do this and do that, you love them. As long as they're nice to you, you'll be nice to them, you love them. That's conditional love. That's a contract. That's business. It's not love. You give me something, I'll give you something. That's business. That's 7-Eleven. It's not love. Right, that part right there, Sandy, is universal truth. But that's how majority of relationships are working. You think you love that person unconditionally, but most of us don't love ourselves that deeply. So how you loving somebody else unconditionally? You don't love you unconditionally yet. Somebody said they're too manly. All right. Why do relationships fall apart? Let me see what the awareness is. Let me see what the awareness is. There's only one reason. Why do relationships fall apart? There's only one reason. Blackout V8, I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you. Somebody said lack of communication, expectations. Ooh, you guys are far away. People don't grow. I like that. Control, like that. No longer aligned. Money. Because people don't grow, change, trust. Ooh, you guys are. Let me bring y'all to the ocean. Let me bring y'all to the ocean real quick. Let me bring you to the ocean. There's only one reason. Relationships fall apart because people stop doing all of the things that they once did in the beginning to get you. Number one reason. And if you look back over all of your relationships, you will see exactly what I'm saying. Let me say that one more time. Relationships fall apart because people stop doing all of the things that they once did for you in the beginning. Because if everything that they were doing in the beginning, when they got you, they were still doing right now, you'd be on the top of Mount Everest right now. Campfires and everything going on. Blissfully happy. Look back over your relationship. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Live in your truth right now. Relationships fall apart because people stop doing, for whatever the reason, everything that they once did in the beginning to get you. They stop doing it. That's when the relationship falls apart. Here's the thing. Man, you got to check that. That's the most important thing. So when I talk about being the guardian at the gate of the relationship, that's what you're checking. We're so busy focused on how other people are living their lives and what's going on social media and all in everybody's celebrity gossip and in these people's business over here and all of those things. But you're not checking the perimeter fence of your relationship. There are things that your partner is slowly stopped doing. Anything that gets introduced into the relationship becomes a permanent part of the relationship. Anything that gets introduced into the relationship becomes the new standard. You don't know that? Anything that you allow to become introduced into that relationship that was an original part of the agreement, the whole relationship has shifted now. It's no longer the same. And then every day, something is slowly shifting, slowly shifting. Somebody stop doing this. Somebody stop doing that. Somebody stop doing this. And you're not catching it. Why? Because we're so caught up in what's going on with everyone else's business. That is your most important relationship, because that person knows more about you than anyone. They see the most vulnerable aspects of who you are. What do you mean? Where are you? What are you paying attention to? What are you watching? You didn't catch your partner when the door stopped opening. You didn't catch your partner when the flowers start coming. You didn't catch your partner when the morning kisses start coming. You didn't catch your partner when the morning hugs and all of that. The moment you didn't catch none of that. Where were you at? You allow these things to become a new normal in your relationship. The standard got set. And then once you start talking to your partner, talking about, we need to go back to doing this again and go back to doing that again, it feels like work to your partner now. Why? Because you dropped the ball. You dropped the ball because you're too busy watching what's going on with everybody else. You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball. See, what you have to understand is sometimes you can be such an amazing person, such a catch to that individual, that they transform into a version of themselves that they have never been before for you. But that version of them really isn't sustainable. Why? Because that's someone that they have never been. It's someone that they hope to become, but it's someone that they've actually never been. They became that version of you, of themselves, for you, because they knew that the version of them that they are on the regular basis would have never caught you. You would have never been interested in that version. So they transformed themselves into someone else, right? Some higher version of themselves, someone that they aspire to become, because they were that blown away by you. So in the beginning, it's 5-star everything. You are the guardian at the gate of the relationship because you're the catch. So you got to hold that person accountable with respect to making sure that every single thing that was getting introduced to that in that relationship in the beginning never stops. Not because you're being greedy, not because you're being selfish, but because that's what you were given. Anything that you let slide in the relationship becomes the new normal. I didn't even catch that question. What did I answer? It's maintenance at all times, but just like your car, it's maintenance at all times. It's your most important relationship because everything is coming from that. The kids is coming from that. The businesses are coming from that. Opportunities are coming from that. Families are coming from that. It's the most important relationship. It's not hard. I'm just checking the perimeter fence of my relationship to make sure that everything is staying intact versus having my nose all in everyone else's business, wondering what's going on with celebrity news. Your relationship is a full-time job, but both partners are checking the perimeter fence to make sure that everything that we started doing in the beginning, we don't stop doing, because the moment that we stop doing those things, the relationship has transformed and now you don't know what it is. Somebody said they need to grow up. What happened? I kind of, so if we point it out and they don't do it, is that it? What do you mean when you say point it out and they don't do it? See, here's the thing. Watch this. I'm going to give you an example of what I'm saying. Let's say I'm with my beloved, right? And I open the door for her all the time. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm saying. I open the door for her all the time. But I get out of the car and I don't open the door. If I'm her, I'm sitting there. That's it. I'm sitting there. And what's gonna happen, it's gonna click. Oh, baby, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna go back and do it, right? Because maybe I lost focus for a minute. I lost whatever the case may be. But if she opens that door and gets out on her own, under her own power, in that moment, a new standard has been set. In that moment, something new has been introduced to the relationship. Now I don't open the door. Now I feel like I don't have to do it. But that wasn't how the relationship started. That's what I'm saying. So it's not about her. It's not about arguing and doing all of those things. Why? Because I'm already used to doing it. The only thing that she's doing in that moment is sitting there like a queen should, waiting for me to come and open the door. Nothing has to be said. Why? Because it's already something that I've allowed. But if she allows me to go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month without doing that, and then she finally says something after I'm way down the road, she finally says something, that's on her now. Because now that feels like a job to me. Now I feel like the person at the valet parking meter. You see what I'm saying? So day one, she checked it. It never had an opportunity to become a habit, is the point not to be missed. Some of you guys have allowed things to go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months, 1 year without you saying anything. And then finally you guys get in some argument about something small and you bring it up and now it feels like work. You should have said something day one. Why did you let this go all of this time? Also have to be accountable for them too, right? I think I understand your question. I'm not sure. Sandy, that's all you doing. That's all you're doing. It's maintaining the standards. Sandy, you nailed it, right? We came into the relationship. We created certain standards. I need to make sure that we uphold the standards. I need to make sure that we don't step outside. We don't start coloring outside the lines of whatever those standards are. Why? Because I'm protecting my tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. But if we come in and we've got certain standards set and I'm allowing him to slip here and allowing her to slip there and allowing all of these new things to be introduced to the relationship, then the relationship, that's not what I signed up for. That's no longer what you signed up for. That's no longer what you fell in love with. Now it's transformed and metamorphosized into something else. How do you think relationships become toxic? Because somebody wasn't protecting the standards that the relationship was built upon. Somebody stopped protecting it. When did the disrespect become introduced? It wasn't there in the beginning. How did it get there? When did the poor communication happen? It didn't happen in the beginning. How did that happen? How did all of this new stuff get introduced into the relationship? Because somebody's not protecting the relationship. That relationship is a whole business. You don't realize that? You got credit tied together, money tied together, bills tied together, kids, houses, real estate, all of these things. It's a whole business. What do you mean you're not checking it? What do you mean you're not checking your business, but you in everybody else's? You said, what if it's not a slip, it's intentional, but it's intentional? Then that lets you know the value that person places on you. Right then and there. It lets you know the value that they place on you. If they're doing things intentionally, that lets you know that value has been lost. That part right there, Lisa, value has been lost. If that person is intentionally doing something, they no longer place the value on you that you think they do. They fumble in you. It's the number one indicator. Yeah, you can get the standards back, right? You can get the standards back, but the problem is that it feels like work now. Now it feels like work. right? Now it feels like work. Now to work to what used to come normal and natural for that person now feels like work. That part right there. That part right there. What's pinned up there. It feels like work to them now. Because again, like I said again, it's the only thing, when you start studying self-awareness, you start to really understand what's important. Nothing is more important than the person that you allow to have access to you. That's the most important relationship in the world, God aside. The person that you allow to have access to you in your most intimate moments, there's nothing more important than that relationship. So, which means that I've got to keep my eye not just on my partner, and I don't mean keep my eye on my partner with respect to thinking that they're going to do something wrong, but keeping my eye on my partner to make sure that my partner is continuing to be everything that they signed up to be with me in the beginning. And I've got to check me on that at the same time. And then the relationship never becomes toxic. The communication never breaks down. The love never breaks down. The intimacy never breaks. Things don't break down because you're checking the perimeter defense of the relationship at all times. I know where my partner is at with respect to their emotions. I know where they're at with respect to what they need. I know what's going on with them. I'm not so focused on what's going on outside of me that I'm not paying attention to what's happening in my own relationship. Again, what's the most important relationship you have? Everything is coming from that. So what could be more important than that? What's drawing your attention away from that? To where all of these standards and all of these new things have gotten introduced to the relationship. And now your relationship doesn't look like anything it used to look like in the beginning because somebody's been slipping. Somebody's been slipping. Bottom line, somebody's been slipping. Let me say this. The moment that you accept less than you deserve, you set a new standard in the relationship. I said the moment that you accept less than you deserve, you have set a new standard in the relationship. Just understand that. I'm not asking you to change anything. The moment that you turn down the volume on your voice and you're no longer speaking your truth, you have set a new standard in the relationship. Those things never come back. Because if you can't speak your truth in the relationship, where can you speak it? This is the most sacred place I have, is my relationship. So if I can't speak my truth in my relationship, then that means that I'm an imposter in my own relationship because I'm not giving them the most powerful version of me. I'm giving my partner the weakest version of me. And what is it about that person that has you afraid to speak your truth? That's what we need to be talking about. What is it about your partner that has you so afraid to speak your truth that you have turned down the volume on your voice? What version of them are you getting? Are they getting? Excuse me. Think about what I'm saying. What are you giving that person? Right, but that's the number one indicator right there. That's the number one indicator that you're in the wrong situation. It's the number one indicator because that person is not healed. And the reason why that person is in your life, because there's some version of you that's not healed. You attracted that person into your life. Right? Because you got to understand that your reality is just who you are pushed out. That's how you attract. It's whatever it is going on in you internally pushed out. And every single person, like a radio, is tuned into the frequency of who you are. Not who you pretend to be, but who you really are. Let me qualify that. You will never see a self-aware person walking around holding hands with a person that's not healed. Never in life. You will see a purple unicorn before you see that. You will never see a relationship with a person that is self-aware and fully healed with someone that's not. ever. You'll never see it. So if that person, because you weren't fully healed and complete, you attracted to someone else into your life that wasn't fully healed and complete. So what is that person really getting? What are they falling in? Oh, we get ready to go to the bottom of the ocean. What are they falling in love with? Think about what I'm saying. What are they falling in love with? And then what did you fall in love with? If this man has all of this anger in him, what did you fall in love with? Because unconditional love, if I don't love myself unconditionally, that means that I have conditional love for myself. And if I have conditional love for myself, that means that I'm operating out of my programming and conditioning, and I'm operating out of my ego, and I will project that onto you in a minute. The moment that you jump out of line, the moment that you say something that upsets me, I'm going to project that onto you, which means that I don't love myself at my essence, which means that I never gave you who I am at my essence. I gave you my programming and conditioning. I gave you my behaviors. I gave you my attitude. I gave you this persona in my ego, and that's what you fell in love with. You never fell in love with the man at his essence because he was never operating at his essence. The fact that you told me that the man was operating from a place of anger let me know positivity and negativity can't exist in the same moment. So positivity was not in him, negativity was. Why? Because he was still struggling with something internally. So whatever it is you fell in love with was a fragment of him. There was a fragment of him. There was some piece of him that you liked, and you created a story around that piece of who he was, right? Not the essence of him, just a fragment of him. And you created a storyline around that. And then you fell in love with who you got to become in his presence. You fell in love with the role he got to play in your life. You fell in love with the fantasy and the story, not the essence of who he is. Because you never met the essence of who he is. Why? Because he was struggling internally. He was not self-aware. That's why the anger was there. And that's why he was projecting that onto you, which caused you to turn down the volume on your voice, which also means that you weren't loving yourself unconditionally as well. How can I say that? Because the person that loves themselves unconditionally would never tolerate that. Ever. Only the person that doesn't love themselves accepts less, walks on eggshells, turns the volume down, don't want to rock the boat, don't want to upset that person. Let me tell you what you're signaling to God that moment, just in case you missed it. What you're signaling to God in that moment, when you don't speak your truth, is that this person is more important to me than I am to me. This person in this relationship is more important to me than I am to me. So much so that I will turn down the volume on my voice. So much so that I will walk on eggshells. So much so that I won't rock the boat because I don't want to lose them, even though I've already lost me. Let me say something to you real quick before I get out of here. Again, the moment that you accept less than you deserve, you're setting a new standard in the relationship. The moment you turn down the volume on your voice, I'm not telling you to become confrontational, I'm not argumentative, none of that. The moment you turn down the volume on your voice, you have set a new standard in the relationship. The moment that you're afraid to rock the boat or to speak your truth, you have set a new standard in the relationship. That's all I'm saying. That will never change. So understand this is your new normal forever. Because the moment you start trying to bow up, and the moment you start roaring up, and the moment you start trying to, now you're going to create a whole sea of problems. Let me say this to you, though. Big biz, big biz. Let me say this to you. People trade their time for what they value. Don't ever get that confused. People trade their time for what they value. So if a person isn't giving you their time, energy, or attention, it's because they don't value you the way that you think they value you. Wherever a person is in this world, they're exactly where they want to be, especially when it comes to men. You need to understand the mind of a man. Wherever that man is, it's exactly where he wants to be. Take work out of it. Because I understand he may have to go to work. He may not love his job. So take work out of it. But when he's not at work, wherever he is, whether he's with his boys, whether he's at the bar, whether he's over here, whether he's over there, if you got to blow that person's phone up and beg that person to come home and beg that person, that's not to say that he won't do it. But that's not where he wants to be in that moment. Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. He'll do it to get you to be quiet. He'll do it to keep the peace in the relationship because he don't want to deal with all the drama. But wherever a person is exactly where he wants to be. You can test your relationship by where your man is most. That's how you will know. If you got to always call this and let's go here and let's go there and always try to make the plans and always try to do this, when he wants to be with you, he will make the plans. He will say, let's go here and have dinner. He will say, let's go here to this movie. He will say, let's go to the park. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to the bookstore. Let's go to church. Let's go to this. Let's go to... You won't have to say nothing when it comes to a man. I'm giving you the mind of a man right now. When that man wants to be with you, you won't have, baby, come on, they got a movie coming out. Baby, come on, there's a new movie on Netflix. Baby, come on, let's go over here. Baby, come on, let's go do that. You won't have to say nothing. This is not, I'm talking about ain't no begging, ain't no violin playing, none of that. You won't have to say anything. When a man is genuinely in it, and any man will tell you that, when his heart is genuinely in it, wherever you are is where he wants to be. When his heart is in it, I said, don't skip that part. When his heart is not in it, you having to blow his phone up. You having to text all the time. When you coming home, when you this, when you that. And that's not to say that he won't come home again to keep the peace. He'll keep the peace. But mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, he's not in it. I'm telling you. Just giving you some universal truth. So one more time. People trade their time for what they value. He's with you because he places value on you. You will never have to wonder where your man is when he places real value on you. You will never have to wonder. Never. You will never have to wonder where your man is when he places real value on you. Let me say this. I'm going to give you guys this last one. This is important. Here's the number one sign that your relationship is in trouble. I teach relationship mastery. Here's the number one sign. Let me ask you guys this. I don't want to say it. Let me see where you are in the self-awareness. What's the number one sign? There's only one. What's the number one sign that your relationship is in trouble? I'm talking about next level trouble. I'm talking about the type of trouble that you can't come back from. There's only one sign. Let me see who knows. What's the number one sign that your relationship is in trouble? Somebody said lies. No time spent. Oh, that's a good one. Distance, fighting, disrespect, infidelity, roommate stage, begging. Ooh, no intimacy. Ooh. Codependency, being mismanaged. I like that. Contempt. Ascending. Somebody pin what ascending said to the top. Tara, please, or somebody. Somebody said communication. Ascending, where'd you go? Type somebody pin what she said. Okay. Okay. No, it's all good. 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 She said indifference, right? She said indifference. There is no bigger threat to your relationship than that. That's the one thing that. There you go. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mama. There you go. Great job on that. Great job on that. Great job on that. She nailed that. Very few people know what that even. Very few people know what that means with respect to a relationship. Especially in awareness. Indifference is the one thing that most couples, when they go to the marriage counselor or to the pastor or to the psychiatrist or someone that's the counselor, the relationship is there. And they don't know that. Somebody knows that, but what people don't understand is that you can't pull that back. Once someone has reached that place right there, it's over for them. Now, the other person may still be in the relationship, right? May still be emotionally attached to it and all of those things. But that one person that has reached that place of indifference has checked out. It's over. Let me break it down. When your partner becomes indifferent, indifference is the absolute worst thing that can happen to your relationship. Meaning, when your partner becomes so fed up with your behavior, when they become so fed up with the lies and the disloyalty and the poor communication and your behavior and the disrespect and it's like, I'm through. I don't care what you do. Oh, baby, I'm getting ready to go hang out with my boys. Bye. Oh, baby, I'm getting ready to go do this over here. Bye. I don't care. You don't even have to tell me anymore. I'm not checking for you. I'm not texting you. I'm not bothering you. And the only reason why I'm still here, it's because maybe I'm trying to figure out my financial situation. Maybe I'm trying to put some money to the side. Maybe we're in a situation, we're married. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to undo this marriage or whatever the case may be. But I have emotionally, mentally, and spiritually checked out. I'm done. I don't give a damn what you do. Just do it without me. Just don't bother me. When you get your partner to that place right there, there's no coming back from that. But see, here's the problem. That's where the therapist makes their money. That's why the psychiatrist makes their money, even though they know they can't pull you back from that. They can put a Band-Aid on it, meaning, oh, try this formula, try this remedy. It will never work because that person has mentally and emotionally checked out. And maybe there's kids involved. Right? So they're considering the kids' needs and what's going on with them and all of that. But they don't want to be there anymore spiritually. When that person has spiritually removed themselves from the relationship because of your behavior, it's over. Over. That's it. You can hang it up. You can hang it up. If your behavior is that bad that you have allowed your partner to reach a place of indifference, there's no coming back from that. It's the only thing, everything else you can pull that person back from, except for that. Yeah, indifference is cold, I'm telling you. Once your partner reaches that place right there, it's over with. There is nothing to come there. That means to them that there's no more talking. What do we? There's nothing to talk about. Just leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. That part right there. And people say that's the worst mistake. I mean, that's an excuse that we use. Don't ever stay for the kids. That's the worst thing that you could ever do. It's the biggest mistake you will ever make. I stayed for the kids. That's the worst mistake you will ever make in the history of your life. The worst mistake you will ever make in the whole history of your life is staying for the kids, because you are programming and conditioning them to stay in situations that don't work, to stay in toxic situations, to tolerate bad behavior, to tolerate this and to tolerate that. That's what you're teaching them, because they see and hear everything. Everything. That's the worst mistake you ever make. Let me say this real quick, because this bothers me spiritually. What I'm getting ready to share with you guys, and then I'm getting ready to pull out of here. But this one bothers me. Yeah, Khadijah. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the worst thing that you can do. Because what most people don't know, and I've been doing this for a long time. What most people don't know is the number one determinant with respect to who your kids become mentally, spiritually, and emotionally is seeing their mother happy. You can Google what I'm telling you. It's the number one determinant that's going to cause that young boy or that young girl to grow up and be mentally, spiritually, and emotionally healthy, I said, is seeing their mother happy. Happy could be you living in a park in a tent. Happy could be you living at the Motel 6. Happy could be you living in a $50 million house, and everything in between. When mama is happy, babies are happy, and babies grow up healthy. When mama is trying to stay in the house and keep the family together, even though she's depressed and unhappy and stressed out and all of those things, you are programming your kids to be exactly a reflection of what you are in that moment. And that's what they're going to grow up and be, and stay in toxic relationships and accept behavior that they shouldn't. And then now you're going to have to turn around and be their counselor and be their psychiatrist and be their therapist and all of those things, trying to pull them out of bad relationships, but they're just mimicking you. That's all they're doing. So all of that, I stayed for the kids, you are doing more damage to them than anything. Don't make them the excuse. See, the life that you are trying to give your kids, they didn't ask you for. So all of that, oh, I want my kids to go to the best school, and oh, I want them to live in this particular community, and oh, that's what you want projected onto them. What they want is to be happy and be happy with you. I grew up in the worst neighborhood in the world, but I had my mom. She was happy. Al Green records playing and Whitney Houston records playing, and we dancing all in the house. Yeah, we didn't have no money. Yeah, we were broke, but mama was happy. So I was happy. I had everything I needed. I was rich and didn't even know it. I was poor and rich at the same time and didn't even know it. That made it what a paradox. You were poor but rich. I was rich because I had my family. I was rich with love. I was rich because I had access to everyone that I wanted to have access to. I was rich because I had access to my mom. I was rich for all of those reasons. Rich is not about the size of your house. Rich is about the state of your internal being. Are you successfully emotionally? Are you successful mentally? Are you successful spiritually? Damn all the external success. If you bankrupt mentally, bankrupt emotionally, bankrupt spiritually, but you got the external trappings of success, but internally you bankrupt. Come on now. You sitting here more concerned with how your life looks to other people than how it feels to you. I had everything as a child. We didn't have anything because I had my mom. She was happy. I had my brothers and sisters. Everyone was happy. I didn't even know I was poor until I saw somebody on TV. I had no idea and I didn't care. Kids don't care about that. You do. So don't stay for all of the reasons. I'm staying because I want my kids to go to this school and be to do this, but you miserable. That's the worst thing that you could ever do for them. Worst thing. I got you, Crystal. Let me say this real quick. Hang on a minute. The last time I checked, love is free. Kindness is free. Compassion is free. Peace is free. Remember, no money here. All free. All of the best things in life are free. So what do you mean you're in a relationship where this person doesn't want to give you love and it doesn't cost him anything? What do you mean you're in a relationship and this person doesn't want to give you kindness and it doesn't cost you anything? What do you mean you're in a relationship and this person has no compassion for you? There's no peace in the relationship, but these things are all free. How do you allow a person to have access to you that won't even give you what doesn't cost them a dime? Now I can understand if you tell me, Coach, the price of love went up, Coach, they charging $1 million. The price of kindness went up, Coach, they charging $1 million. The price of peace went up, Coach, I would understand. I say, damn, okay, that makes all the sense in the world. We talk about things that come free. You got people that are on this live stream right now. You in a full-blown relationship with someone, and they won't even give you what doesn't cost them anything. What is that signaling to you? Man, you got to wake up. How do you not give me what doesn't cost you anything? Love, free. Kindness, free. Compassion, free. Empathy, free. Understanding, free. Intimacy, free. All free. You gotta, the thought that fathers the inaction should terrify you. I said the thought that fathers the inaction should terrify you. Meaning, what were they thinking that made them not want to give it to you? That should scare you to death. You sitting here in a full-blown relationship with someone and everything, the most amazing things in the world. See, God was cold when he did that. He said, I'm going to make sure that all of the best things in the world don't cost you anything. So there's no excuses for a person not to give them to you. He was cold when he did that. That part. All right, you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the live. I will see you guys back here on Monday. Again, happy Friday. Stay prayed up. Spend some time with your babies. Hug your family. Stay powerful. Stay prayed up. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Friday evening. Again, hopefully I added some value to your life, but that's what it's about, man. It's about, the having synergistic relationships with people where you that time that you're spending with people, because it is your most important resource and most precious resource. And that time that you're spending with people, there should be some return on investment of that time. You should walk away a better version of yourself than you did before you encountered me. If you can say that you walked away from this live worse than you were when you walked up, then I did you a disservice. But you have to take that same energy out to reality. Every single person that you allow to have access to you should leave you better than they found you. There's no way you should be walking away feeling less, feeling disrespected, being abused, becoming a lesser version of yourself, turning down the volume on your voice, and you allow this person to have access to your most precious resource, which is your time. Nothing is more valuable to you than that, because